expert. There's a piece of The Sun here, which I'm just looking at, in which it says that ChatGPT bosses fear that its AI will be used to create devastating new bioweapons, and warns that apps will hit that level pretty soon. Anthrax attacks in the US are the most recent confirmed use of a bioweapon. That was back in 2001, after 9/11. I'm not sure how this can be explained, but let's try. Mal, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
I think a lot of people, this is a bit like 3D printing this for a lot of people. You kind of go, how can you possibly print a house or a car or a gun? I'm going to ask you the same question. How can AI produce a bioweapon?
Well, Mike, AI is already being used a lot to help identify potential new drug compounds, new vaccines. Because it can analyze huge oceans of data very quickly, it can identify combinations of molecules that might work together to target a particular disease. And it's not hard to imagine that same process flipped and used for the opposite purpose.
Right. So it would be more coming up with a sort of formula for some chemical than anything else.
Basically, in one test case recently, using these AI drug discovery tools, the AI reward function, what we call the goal of the AI, was flipped to seek toxicity rather than healthcare, and it generated something like 40,000 potentially deadly molecules in 6 hours. And because people today can get access through large language models, through open source programs, it's much easier for amateurs to gain access to bioinformation and design. So the creation of an AI bioweapon, it could cost just a few $100,000 according to one study.
Wow.
And there are terrorist groups that would take that up.
Yeah, I mean, that is the problem, isn't it? And so, but you can't really prevent this from happening, can you? Because you can't really monitor everything that anybody's doing on AI.
Well, you can set up codes of ethics and you can back those up with regulation. And I think we talked, you and I, recently about the fact that our present government seems more interested in AI innovation and investment than it does in promoting ethics and regulation. And Mr. Altman, the chap you referred to, the head of ChatGPT, is right to be concerned, but he and his colleagues have got to do something about it, start talking seriously about limitations on their own products, and then helping government, informing government when it comes to what kind of regulation should be imposed on rogue states and others that would use their products.
But I guess if you're going to put regulations on regular people, which is what regular people can be sort of controlled with, if you like, if you're a terrorist or a terrorist group or a bad actor, you're not going to care about the regulations, eh?
Well, you're trying to get around them, but I mean, the world has had rules in place for research and development into genetic engineering now for a couple of decades. And they've served us well. Yes, there are rogue states that try to get around them, but that's the purpose of groups like Interpol and others, to make sure that they don't go too far along that road. So there are precedents here, and we can make it work if we act now while we still have the choice.
Interesting, fascinating, and slightly worrying as well. Mal, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Mal Fletcher there, an AI expert.